Let me ask you something. How many times have you checked your bank balance this week? And here's the real question. Has all that checking actually gotten you anywhere? Maybe you think you've been doing everything right, tracking your spending, using the apps, reading the books, listening to the podcasts. You're working so hard at managing your money, but you're not getting the results you want. Today, I want to share something that I learned from the most expected source that completely changed how I think about money management, my physical therapist. And I think it might explain why you're working so hard but not seeing progress. This story starts years ago during the Great Recession when my husband was reduced to a 4-day work week and I was home with a toddler and a newborn. So there I was, dealing with chronic back pain. Surprising, right? After a lifetime of playing a competitive sport, my body had finally said, enough. I needed help. I found this physical therapy practice that catered to serious athletes, and honestly, I loved it there. It made me feel like I was part of the team again, not just another patient whose body had failed them. Before starting PT, I had diagnosed myself on the internet. Sound familiar? I found exercises to build up a particular muscle, simple stuff, and I was diligent. Day after day, week after week, I did my reps exactly as the internet prescribed, but I was not getting any stronger. In my first appointment with my physical therapist, I mentioned this to her, and her response shocked me. She said, "Stop doing those exercises. They are not doing you any good." Wait, what? Here's what she explained. Sometimes repetitive exercises make no difference whatsoever toward making you stronger. Because sometimes the problem isn't that the muscle is weak. The problem is that the muscle is asleep. When a muscle has been damaged or hasn't been used properly, it can become dormant. And when that happens, the muscles around it step in to compensate. They do their neighbor's job, but they do not do it well. So, no matter how many reps you do, those substitute muscles keep working while the one you actually need stays dormant. The solution isn't more repetitions, it's waking up the right muscle so it can do its job properly. And that's when it hit me. This is exactly what happens with money. Think about what you do with your money over and over again. You pay your bills. You transfer money to saving. You check your accounts, maybe multiple times a day. You review transactions in your app. You move money around. These things feel productive, right? They feel like you're on top of it. And some of them are necessary. Come on, guys. I'm not saying do not pay your bills. But then there are the other patterns, the ones that work against you. The retail therapy after hard days, the impulse purchases triggered by Instagram, treating yourself so often that it's not a treat anymore, it's just a daily habit. In my work, I sometimes meet people who monitor their money obsessively. They check apps, they review spreadsheets, they track every single dollar, and they are exhausted, but they're still not reaching their goals. This is the financial equivalent of my useless muscle exercises. It feels like you're doing something constructive, but you're not actually getting stronger. You're working the wrong muscles. So, how do you wake up your money muscles? The answer isn't doing more of what you're already doing. It's about engaging the deeper systems that drive your financial behaviors, the ones that have been dormant or that you didn't even know existed. Let me give you 3 examples. First, your core money values. Most people make spending decisions based on what feels normal, what their friends are doing, or what they think they should want. But when your spending doesn't align with your actual values, those things that genuinely matter to you, it's like those compensating muscles doing the wrong job. Lots of effort, limited results. When you understand what you genuinely value, your daily money decisions start working in service to your goals instead of against them. And here's the key: this is not about willpower or discipline. It's about waking up the alignment between what matters to you and where your money goes. Second, your money personality. We all have dominant patterns in how we interact with money. Some people are natural savers who struggle to spend even when it makes sense. Others find saving nearly impossible. Some people avoid money decisions entirely, while others obsess over every detail. None of these patterns are good or bad, they're just your default operating system. But if you're trying to manage money in a way that conflicts with your natural tendencies, you're going to exhaust yourself fighting your own wiring. When you understand your money personality, you can design systems that work with your nature instead of against it. That's activation, not repetition. And third, how you're actually motivated. Are you motivated by external accountability, deadlines, or other people's expectations? Or by internal standards like your own goals and commitments? Both? Neither? This fundamentally shapes what money management systems will work for you. Someone who needs external accountability will not succeed with a system that relies purely on self discipline. Someone who resists external pressure will not thrive in an accountability group. Most people try to force themselves into systems designed for a different motivational style, and then they blame themselves when it doesn't work. But it was the system that was the problem, not you. This is what makes financial coaching different from financial advice or financial education. Financial advice tells you what to do: save more, spend less, invest wisely. Financial education teaches you how things work: compound interest, tax brackets, investment vehicles. But financial coaching activates the muscles that make it possible for you to actually do what you already know you should do. In coaching, we identify which muscles are dormant: the values, the motivations, or the patterns you haven't been using or didn't even know were there. We design systems that fit your actual wiring, not generic advice, but strategies built for how you specifically operate. We create conditions for sustainable change, not through willpower, but by engaging the deeper drivers that make different choices feel natural. And we provide the perspective you can't get by yourself. Like my physical therapist who could see what I could not, that my hard work was directed at the wrong muscle. If you're exhausted from checking your accounts every day, reviewing your budget religiously, and still not getting where you want to go, the problem is not that you need to work harder. You need to activate different systems. The repetitive actions do have their place, but without activation, they're just motion without progress. Whether you're interested in group coaching, where you can explore these concepts alongside others on similar journeys, or one on one coaching for deeply personalized attention, I would love to talk with you. You do not need more discipline. You do not need to try harder at what's already not working. You need to activate the money management muscles that have been dormant. Use the link in the description to schedule a free consultation. Let's figure out which muscles need activating and build a system that actually works for how you are wired. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.